Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, there are things about New Jersey. Some things are pretty cool, but I think because it's such a tiny state, you don't always hear about some of the things that are really at this location. We have caves. They used to give tours through some of the caves that are here. I'm not sure if they still do. We have whale watching. In fact, my son went twice with, his summer camp. They get binoculars and they go out there and they do whale watching, and he really enjoyed it. They did see the whales out there, and they went down to a place here called Cape May, and it's right at the tip of Southern New Jersey, and they just get on a boat and they go out there whale watching. So, and that's a tourist attraction here, as well as, there are, like, the aquarium here in Camden. A lot of the sea creatures they have there, they came off of the coast of New Jersey. So, they have seals and, other sharks and things that they captured, and they are up at the aquarium. So you get to see some of the things you normally would never see. And believe it or not, even people that live here in New Jersey are not aware of the fact that there are two different waterfalls here. One is the Passaic waterfall, which is the first one I'm going to show you. And it's also called the Great Falls. It also is nicknamed the Mini Niagara Falls. Now, scientists believe that this particular waterfall was formed during the Ice Age, the last ice age that occurred on Earth. That's where this waterfall came from. So it's in Passaic County in a place called Paterson, New Jersey. It is a tourist attraction. It's one of those places, if you go to see the waterfalls, make sure you wear clothing that you don't mind getting wet. You will get wet. As you get closer to the waterfall, you will get wet, trust me. And the other one is in a place called Layton, New Jersey, and it's Buttermilk Falls. Now, that one is interesting because they got steps that run along. You really won't see it if you look at the shot straight ahead, but in between the trees and all the shrubbery and everything that's there are steps that run alongside of the waterfall that you can go up. You can go halfway up or you can go all the way up to the top and you'll be able to look down. That location, you really have to time it right because there are a lot of hiking trails up there. People like to go up in that area to go hiking. And if it rains too much, the roads are really not good to travel on. But if you can get up there, especially after a good rainfall, maybe like a week or a few days afterwards, the waterfall is really beautiful. It is the highest waterfall in New Jersey. It goes all the way up 85 feet. And you'll notice the difference. These 2 waterfalls are very different from each other, okay? So, let me share my screen, and we will get started. Okay, please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you, October Opal, for your super sticker and support for my channel. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Before we get started, I don't know if I did this. I would like to also thank Big Judah, Bradley Meyer, and James Richardson for your super chats. Not super chats, I'm sorry, for your cash apps. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Let's get started. And just a reminder, the sale for Shopify and Etsy is still on. So everything in the store online is 30% off. Just make sure you use the link in my community tab or the code chosen30 for Shopify and Etsy to get your 30% off. All right, here we go. Thank you, everybody. All right, so this is Passaic Falls or mini Niagara Falls. This is the first one I'm going to show you. Hold on, y'all. I may have to just reload it again. Move it. All right, just give me a moment. Huh, I got that one. All right. Yeah, look like I'm gonna have to. All right, look like I'm gonna have to upload it again. So let me see what I can do here. That's one thing about StreamYard. Every now and then your video don't all the way upload, and I don't know why it does that, but it does, and it's so annoying sometimes. Alright, just play a little music until I get it together over here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Um, all right.
Yeah. When you said seek my face, my heart said to you, your face. Yeah, I will seek Psalm 27:8. When the night is cold and I can't see, I lift my voice and fall to my knees. The world is loud, but I want your peace. Yeah, I seek your face. Come and speak to me. I seek your face, not just your hand. In a dry and weary land, you help me stand. I'm not asking for riches or signs from above. Just let me dwell in your presence and love. Seek your face, not just your hand. In a dry and weary land, you help me stand. I'm not asking for riches or signs from above. Just let me dwell in your presence and love. Tears have fallen like midnight rain, but you restore what the world can't claim. You said sing me, and you'll find my grace. So here I am, yeah, I seek your face. Yeah, I seek your face, not just your hand. In a dry and weary land, you help me stand. I'm not asking for riches or signs from above. Just let me dwell in your presence and love. I see your face, not just your hand. In a dry and weary land, you help me stand. I'm not asking for riches or signs from above. Just let me dwell in your presence and love. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Yeah. Call on him while he is near. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. See your face, not just your hand. In a dry and weary land, you help me stand. I'm not asking for riches or signs from above. Just let me dwell in your presence and love. See your face, not just your hand. In a dry and weary land, you help me stand. I'm not asking for riches or signs from above. Just let me dwell in your presence and love.
Okay. It's like at 70% downloaded, so we're almost there. Y'all, I don't know if you've seen the latest on 3i Atlas. Now they're saying there are 17 objects around 3i Atlas that they have captured. So I just find it very strange how nobody will release a picture of it. Nobody. You can't get China, Russia, they also got satellites up there. Even if the United States is down, you would think one of these other countries would show it. Nope, they don't want to show it either. That's why I know it's not just a simple comet. If it was, they would not have a problem showing that. They got issues with showing it because of what it is. And they sure don't want us to see it, that's for sure. But I think it'll be released whether they want it, whether they want to do it or not. Okay, got it, y'all. All right. Should be able to do it this time. All right. Once again, please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Standing here at the Great Waterfall in Paterson, New Jersey, and this is the Wayne Bridge, and you can't cross it now. It's unsafe, but it's a very cool little spot. You can take the jitney bus, number 4, from the George Washington Bridge station and pay $7, and you're here at this lovely historic site where Nikola Tesla, tested hydroelectric current in an innovative way using water from this waterfall that flow through these raceways to provide electricity. So it's a national historic treasure. And it just rained, so the waterfall is at its greatest.
I've lived in Jersey for almost 6 years. Didn't know this existed. It's like a mini Niagara Falls. It's like super cool, and I've been here for maybe 30 seconds and I'm already soaking wet.
Just to let you know, the water feeds into,
When
the
I say I'm outside,
Passaic
I'm not at the bar.
River,
When I say
and
I'm
the
outside, I'm
Passaic
not down the
River is
street out
80
there
miles
having fun,
long.
taking shots. Literally outside. Get a bird. You hear that? That is not.
Okay, this one is in Sussex, New Jersey. This is in a town called Layton, New Jersey, and this waterfall is the highest in New Jersey. It's 85 feet high, and it's called Buttermilk Falls. Okay. And this particular location, you can park, you can hike, it got hiking trails, you can climb the steps alongside of the waterfall. You can go halfway up or all the way up and look down, but you'll see in some of the footage I have here. You know, there are so many beautiful places on this earth, and I think sometimes we stay so contained in certain areas that we don't know what's really out there. And New York, by the way, is another state that have a lot of beautiful waterfalls in New York. And they got one also called Buttermilk Falls. Now, the cool thing about their Buttermilk Falls, which is a different waterfall, you can literally walk behind the waterfall. They got a path that you can walk up to the waterfall, and then there's like a path behind it, and you can walk right behind the waterfall, which is really cool. But these are the two that are well known in New Jersey. We also got caves. They used to take people on tours in the caves that are here, but I'm not sure if they do that anymore. You know, they did it many years ago, but I have not heard about anybody touring through the caves recently. And they got natural, natural stones and gems and stuff growing in these caves here in New Jersey too. So it is an interesting thing, it makes you want to get out more. But yeah, these places are really tourist attractions, one of the tourist attractions here. So, but the sad part is if you ask the average person in New Jersey about the waterfalls, they'll tell you New Jersey don't have any waterfalls because they just don't know. They don't know. The only reason why I know about the one in Paterson is because when I went to college, I saw that one. I had a couple of, people from Paterson that lived there. That's how I found out the Negro Leagues was played in Paterson, New Jersey. There's a lot of history in that town, and that's when I found out about the waterfalls, and I went over there many years ago when I was still a 19-year-old. That was the first time I saw it, and I was blown away because I never knew. I lived in Southern New Jersey. We don't have no waterfalls around here. So when I went up there and people were showing me around that lived there, wow, it blew me away to see that. It is really beautiful. It really is. You'll get soaking wet standing close to it because so much of the water rises up in the atmosphere. If you go down there, like I said, make sure you wear something that you don't mind getting wet from the water. Maryland. Yeah, Maryland is actually, it's a small but beautiful state. It really is. I've been to Maryland many times. Mhm. No, they don't teach you anything about this. Where you are so right, G. Bowman Jr. They don't teach us crap about this earth. They really don't. If you don't get out and find out about a lot of the places on this planet, you'll never know. They want to keep us dumbed down because they figure if we're stupid, we're easy to control. That's all that crap is about. But at the end of the day, you know, it just goes to show you the Most High created a spectacular planet. He really did, and some of us really do appreciate and love the planet, and some people, they don't care how they treat the planet. They really don't care at all. They have no connection to it. North Carolina, which is also a very beautiful state. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of waterfalls are here in the US. There's many. No. This would be a nice thing to show children. Even if you don't wanna take them there, you can show them how these places do exist, but nah, they don't care. They really don't care. Okay. So, October Opal, thank you again for the super sticker and your support for my channel. And G. Bowman Jr., the creator, makes amazingly beautiful things. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I mean, even the oceans are beautiful. When I used to go and spend a lot of time in Atlantic City at one point in time. We used to stay down there for the weekend and just come back. And oh, I don't know how many of you feel being near the ocean. I love the way the ocean smells. When we go on the boardwalk and then the whole atmosphere around you smells like the ocean, I love that smell. I do. I think it's really powerful when you can go and the scent of the ocean is just everywhere you go. You can just smell it. Mhm. Oh, you wanna see it again? Yeah, I could show it again. Hold on. Alright, can everybody see my screen? Can everybody see oh, yeah, the sound. I just love the way the ocean looks, I love the way it sounds, I loved how you can just be anywhere in Atlantic City and you can smell that ocean. I just love that. Thank you. Alright.
Standing here at the Great Waterfall in Paterson, New Jersey, and this is the Wayne Bridge, and you can't cross it now. It's unsafe, but it's a very cool little spot. You can take the jitney bus, number 4, from the George Washington Bridge station, and pay $7, and you're here at this lovely historic site where Nikola Tesla, tested hydroelectric current in an innovative way using water from this waterfall that flow through these raceways to provide electricity. So it's a national historic treasure. And it just rained, so the waterfall is at its greatest.
I've lived in Jersey for almost 6 years. Didn't know this existed. It's like a mini Niagara Falls. It's like super cool, and I've been here for maybe 30 seconds and I'm already soaking wet.
When I say I'm outside, I'm not at the bar. When I say I'm outside, I'm not down the street out there having fun, taking shots. Outside. Get a bird. You hear that? That is not.
Okay, family. I tell you what, you see how spectacular it looks, right? I just can't wait to see what it's gonna look like when we're in the kingdom. I just can't imagine how beautiful this place is gonna look. We're not even looking at the earth at its absolute finest right now because of the Gentile rulership. So when we're back in power, I just cannot even imagine the beauty that we are going to see on this planet. It is going to be unreal. It sure is. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I deeply appreciate our time together, and I hope you have a wonderful night. I'm going to be showing y'all footage of the nor'easter. They had to call a state of an emergency in New Jersey because of the flooding in some areas. And from what I understand, Virginia also took a hit. These are like the coastal towns, and North Carolina as well. So we'll look at some of that tomorrow. So I hope to see you then. And again, if you want to take advantage of the 30% off, put your orders in because everything is going out tomorrow. So have a wonderful night. Shalom, family.